Good Saturday evening, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend so far. The main topic tonight is obviously going to continue to be severe weather, and it's going to be the main topic here the next several days. It's looking like we're going to have some kind of outbreak, whether it's going to be a tornado outbreak, just severe weather outbreak in general. We're going to have some dangerous storms Monday, Tuesday, and likely Wednesday, possibly even Thursday also of this coming work week. This is a big-time system, so we need to continue to get people to be alerted by this system. There's a lot of people talking about this, so get this video out there. Subscribe if you haven't, like the video if you like it, and I appreciate y'all's ongoing support. Hit me up on social media. It's a great way to stay up to date with the latest and greatest information. Guys, I'm really thinking about chasing this event. I'm not going to chase Monday, but I'm likely going to chase Tuesday, so it's going to be a long haul out in the Mississippi and Alabama area, but I'm likely going to chase. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to try to go live in certain ways, kind of like Reed Timmer does. I don't know if I'm going to have a good setup like that, but I'm definitely going to go live and try to get out there and try to, do my best and do my part to save lives. I don't want to just go out there and get the content and then head on out. I'm going to try to get people alert and try to do my part as a weather enthusiast to keep people alert out there. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Not sure if I already said that, but definitely if you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it. Gives others an opportunity to do so too. And there's a lot of people who have high-end anxiety when it comes to severe storms, and rightfully so. So we're praying for you folks, and hopefully the best case scenario happens with this setup. So let's keep rolling here. Satellite loop, what's going on? Well, this is the system. Storms firing up just like we thought they were. Currently, I don't know of any tornadoes reported right as of now, 6:16 Eastern Standard Time. Not sure. I don't know of any tornado warnings ongoing, but nothing too crazy going on right now. But this is the next system. You see all this cloud cover over here? This is our next system that's about to drop down and really get this storm system kick-started as we get into Monday. Sunday, tomorrow is going to be our quiet day. We're not going to have a whole lot going on. So it's going to be the quiet day, the time to just kind of mellow out and get yourself prepared for this severe weather event that's likely going to unfold. Well, that is going to unfold. Really, it's trying to figure out the severity of it for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But right now, as I mentioned this morning, enhanced risk up for this region right here. So is this going to get upgraded to a moderate risk? We're not sure. It's likely, I would say it is. And, you go on and look at the day 4 range, enhanced risk up for this region down here. So this severe weather threat is the big deal. Think of this 30% risk, and it's a 30% or higher probability for severe thunderstorms to occur in a 25 miles on any given point in this orange area right here. So think of this as an enhanced region. You back this up, this is for your Monday enhanced region. This is for your Tuesday of this coming week. And then we even go a step further and go into Wednesday, and there's still that 15% risk right here that's covering areas of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, the panhandle of Florida. So obviously as this upper trough continues to move through, it starts to lose some steam and kind of gets sheared out as systems do when the low pressure flies up ahead and you're still left with leftover energy. Normally gets sheared out, turns into a damaging wind threat. But we'll see how this unfolds. But what's going on, and we've talked about this the last several days. Strong upper trough, upper level low gets kind of cut off from the mainstream. Therefore, you're going to have winds screaming out the west, southerly winds at another level of the atmosphere coming out the south, which is bringing that ample moisture you need. I'm talking high-end dew points reaching widespread in the upper 60s, potentially 70 in some regions. And this pulls winds, and it causes veering at the low levels of the atmosphere, which causes that low-level shear that you need for tornadoes to develop. So, dangerous situation. And Tuesday looks particularly dangerous because this thing I'm seeing with Tuesday is it looks like the column is going to be saturated, which means you're going to have a lot of convection, which means you can have rain-wrapped strong tornadoes, which means that a lot of times you can't see these tornadoes coming. And I'll talk a little bit about what I'm meaning here a little bit later in the video, so stick with me. But as we're going forward, really what we got going on is we're getting into, and this is for right now, this is for your Saturday, we're getting into your Sunday. And look, as we're getting into Monday morning, these are dew points. You see these dew points in the 60s starting to build in southern Texas. They will continue to do so as a moist sector builds ahead of this dry line. So you're going to have the dynamics in place. You got the dry air nearby, winds coming out the west, and you got screen winds coming out the south from the lower levels and surging all that moist air into eastern Texas. So you're going to have a lot of veering, a lot of changing in the atmospheres at different levels of the atmospheres. So that's going to put the spin to the updrafts that cause these tornadoes. So this is dangerous. You got plenty of moist air. When you have moist air like this, it causes an increased CAPE, convective energy that you need. But you keep this rolling here, and this moist sector begins to shift into Tuesday. In your Tuesday morning, and then a lot of moisture builds into areas of southern Louisiana, and then about the entire state of Mississippi in general. We have to see how this unfolds. But this is a lot of moisture in this moist sector that really builds into this region. So you got plenty of low-level moisture, right? So we'll look at this storm in general. This storm moves on out that we've been talking about the last few days. And then here comes our next system right here. Low pressure develops and then begins to eject itself across the middle of the country. Therefore, we bring it back here. You see all this green, orange, that is the storms. Now, this isn't a short-range model. I'm about to show you the NAM here in a second. But this is showing the evolution of the storm in general. We keep going. It's Sunday. This is Tuesday. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting my days all mixed up. This is Monday evening. We keep this rolling into Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. A lot of rain. So, guys, not only are you going to have a severe weather threat for Tuesday, I think you could get a ton of rain in this setup. Stick with me because tomorrow evening is going to be the biggest video so far. We're going to be well in range of these short-range models, and we're going to know not exactly what happens, obviously. We can't predict the future, but we will know more than ever what is going to happen by tomorrow evening as we get inside all these short-range models. But a lot of rain is going to fall in Tennessee, areas of Mississippi, and Alabama, and there is going to be prime dynamics in place for there to be embedded tornadoes, rain-wrapped tornadoes in this setup. So you go on and get into your Thursday, into your Wednesday. This gets kind of strung out, but you still watch for severe weather in here. But let's look at the latest NAM for your south central U.S., for this eastern Texas. We're getting into Monday morning. Convection already flying through here from the south to north. This is already riding up here, and then as you're getting into the afternoon hours, you have to watch for the tail end of this right here. All these storms kind of building just east of this dry line. These storms start to develop, and you can have tornadoes popping up in all these storms. You have plenty of veered back winds coming in this region, this low-level moisture, CAPE 1,500, 2,000 joules per kilogram, especially down here. Severe weather is going to be ongoing. All hazards on the table. You know, we're not sure how this is going to unfold, but these will all have the chance to be severe thunderstorm. We'll keep this going into the late evening hours, and then you're still going to have an ongoing severe weather threat as you're getting into far eastern areas of Texas, getting into northwest Louisiana. But this only goes 60 hours out, so this is as far out as we can see. And this would be 1 a.m. Central Standard Time when you got some nasty storms starting to enter. Now you look at this and you think, well, this just looks like a standard line of storms. Well, what you can't see on this model right here, based off this, just the precipitation, is the dynamics in place right here. You got dew points in the 60s, CAPE values relatively high, and you have a increased low-level jet pushing 70, 80, 90 knots. And then a mid-level jet coming out the southwest, low-level jet coming out the south. This is putting a veering to the atmosphere. This is turning the atmosphere and spinning these updrafts. So we keep rolling here, and there might be a little time glimpse here, but here we go, my bad. This is the mid-level jet. You notice what's going on here, and it is pretty potent right here. You got, and this is for your Monday afternoon, Monday evening, you got a mid-level jet coming out the southwest at about 60, 70, almost 80 knots, riding through East Texas. You keep this going. This begins to increase even as you get into the evening hours Monday, and it starts to increase to, you know, even higher, 80, 90 knots. At the same time, you look at the low-level jet, and if this would take 3 years to come up, here you go, you got a low-level jet. So these are winds a little bit lower than the mid-level jet. Mid-level jet, low-level jet. You got winds at the mid-levels coming like this. Winds at the low levels coming like that. So these are coming together, and it puts a spin to the atmosphere, a spin to these updrafts. And you can see these wind bars right here, right? And this is just showing surface winds, but you see these wind bars coming out the west-southwest, and then these wind bars coming straight out the south, pulling that rich Gulf moisture into eastern Texas. This is going to be a substantial low-level jet pushing 70, 80, maybe even 90 knots in areas, and this is valid for about your Monday afternoon in eastern Texas. As you're getting into the evening hours, this intense low-level jet starts to work its way into southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana. And the severe weather threat continues overnight Monday into Tuesday. I mean, it's just going to be ongoing. And then the low-level jet will ramp up again potentially as you're getting into your Tuesday afternoon. Low-level jet just as strong. So you still have the same dynamics in place right here. One thing I want to look at, though, for your Tuesday threat, and we'll wrap this video up. I know it's not very long. It's not a 20, 25-minute video, but we only can see what we can see in these models. And what we do know is I'll stop it here. For your Tuesday, I'm almost more worried about Tuesday just because it's the South. I think it's a more heavily populated area. You got what I think is going to be rain-wrapped tornadoes. So I'll stop this. This is for 18Z Tuesday. So think of this as early afternoon Tuesday. Crazy dynamics in place, a low-level jet roaring over here. Plenty of moisture into this region. I'm going to make a sounding right into here. So this sounding right here is probably where you're going to have your highest levels of that surface moisture, dew points well into the upper 60s. You're probably going to have convective values reaching at least 1,000 joules per kilogram. And you're going to have low-level jet probably pushing 60 to 70 knots. So I'll click this, right? And if you notice down here, it says PDS tornado, which is a worse situation than a tornado. It's saying PDS means particularly dangerous situation tornado. So this is a stronger tornado showing up on here. So you look at this, dew points are pushing, and let me scoot this a little bit up. Dew points are pushing 70 degrees. Air temperature, the actual temperature outside, 75 degrees. So, I mean, it's not like it's the surface temperatures are in the 60s, but really you don't look at that. You got a looping hodograph right here, which tells us spin to the atmosphere, right? So you look at all this, and one thing I want you to focus on when I'm showing you this is the fact that you look at the dew points, right, which is the green. The temperature is the red. So if you go higher up in the atmosphere, you're going up to about a mile up in the atmosphere, about 850 millibars, and then you get even several more thousand feet up in the atmosphere. Notice this green line rides the temperature. So if this green line was kind of backing off this way, which that would tell us that it's much more drier air because it's decreasing, right? Instead, the dew point rides the temperature way all the way up until basically where the jet stream is. So you got, what I'm trying to say is you got very moist air in this situation at all levels of the atmosphere, all the way up until you get several 15, 20,000 feet up in the air, moist air. You don't have any you don't have a dry air, punch of air in this area. And what that would do is it increases the severe weather threat. It puts steep lapse rates in place, which increases CAPE, just increases the tornado potential in general. But still, that doesn't mean that tornado is not going to happen. What it does mean is you're going to have a lot of convection in Mississippi, Alabama, even areas of eastern Louisiana. So this is for Tuesday. So what I'm saying is you're going to have a lot of rain, a lot of heavy rain, a lot of storms, but you're going to have blobs, congealed storms kind of together. And I'll go on and back this out. Meaning, for instance, you could have a large area of storms over central Mississippi. But what happens is you have these rain-wrapped vortices, these rain-wrapped tornadoes that can really happen in all this heavy rain. So a lot of times it just looks like a storm coming, but all of a sudden you get slammed by a tornado that you never even saw coming. So what I'm saying is it might be one of those situations where you look out your back porch in Mississippi, your front porch, whatever you're doing, and you're not going to see the tornado coming. It's just going to be heavy rain, and then bang, you get hit by a tornado. That's why it's very important, especially in these messy convective setups where you have a ton of rain, you don't have any isolated discrete cells. We don't know if this is what's going to happen. It's just something that could happen. To have a way to get alerts. If you're in an area, your phone buzzes off, and you have a tornado warning, definitely pay attention to what's going on here. But, you know, you look at here, and I'm not just trying to just focus on Tuesday, but I'm just telling you, it just looks very dangerous to me, and I'm trying to fast forward to Tuesday, and this is Tuesday afternoon. I mean, look at the dew points. You got dew points riding well into the mid to upper 60s. So plenty of surface moisture, right? And then you're looking at, let's go on to look down here at the severe weather parameters. You look at surface-based CAPE, right? What kind of CAPE do you have in this situation? Well, same kind of deal. You know, you don't have a ton of CAPE spiking in this situation, but it's trended a little higher, right? You got convective values reaching over 1,000 joules per kilogram surface CAPE, starting to reach that 1,500 threshold. That is very dangerous. So in here, this is when there's going to be the nastiest weather, and it matches up well with what you're seeing right here for day 4. See that 30% risk area? And then you compare that with this right into here, where you can have the nastiest convective values right here for sure. So what you really look at in these situations, and there's a heck of a lot more that goes into it than just this, is you look at where does the best kinematic setup compared to the thermodynamics? Thermodynamics being those high dew points, those high convective levels, those Kate levels, and the surface temperatures, things like that. And then you look at kinematics, which is the wind energy. What kind of low-level jet do you have at place? What kind of mid-level jet? What kind of wind situation aloft do you have to put a spin to the atmosphere? Where the highest of each of those meet, that's when you have the nastiest severe weather. So yes, the low-level jet could be higher way up here. But then again, you're lacking in those higher dew points up here. You're lacking in the higher Cape levels up here. So you know, in general, that doesn't mean you necessarily have a higher, so that means that you have a lacking in a dynamic for severe weather. But you go down here, you have higher Cape levels, higher temperatures, higher dew points, but you probably don't have a strong kinematics, which means there's that low-level jet. So wherever they meet in the middle, right into here, that's when the nastiest weather can occur. So if you're in central, southern Mississippi, and obviously other areas too, because this will move into Alabama in the later evening hours Tuesday, this is going to be a dangerous situation. So we'll have a lot more details tomorrow evening around this time, how this is going to evolve. So stick with me. You know, this is going to be a dangerous situation. It can affect people's lives. It could take people's lives. So stick with your sources. You don't just have to watch me. Watch others. Watch your local. Pay attention to your local alerts. And stay safe out there, guys, for sure. You know, praying for everybody. But God bless. That's all I got. I'll have you an update tomorrow morning. And tomorrow morning, we're really going to start to focus on this storm ahead of time. We'll obviously talk about what will happen tomorrow. But tomorrow is going to be a quiet day. So we're going to begin to focus solely on this event. God bless all y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Stay safe. And I'll talk to y'all soon.